All Blacks assistant coaches have been named, folks. Dave Rennie has got his men. Are these the guys to take the All Blacks back to glory, or are these just the dregs who were the only guys available in the middle of a Rugby World Cup cycle? We'll go through the ones named. You guys can let us know your thoughts on whether you reckon these are the right appointments or not. Let's start with his assistant coach, his senior assistant coach. It's Neil Barnes. I like the appointment of Neil Barnes because I feel like him and Dave, well, they've got coaching experience together at the Chiefs in the past, so they will know each other. They'll have a good working relationship. But also, I feel like Neil Barnes, because if you've seen that Six Nations full contact Netflix series from when he was with Kieran Crowley at Italy, as his right-hand man, you will know that he is a no-nonsense, old school, very direct, no sugarcoating, foul-mouthed kind of coach. And I feel like with Dave, like he and Dave could play a bit of good cop, bad cop in that regard. Like if you need someone to give the players a spray, maybe Neil Barnes is the right kind of guy to do that job. Some players, some people respond well to being told off. Some people don't and need to have the arm put around them and have their ego stroked. But if you need the guys to be yelled at for a little bit to rev them up, you can't do much better than Neil Barnes in that regard. Obviously, he's not just loud-mouthed and foul-mouthed. He's got a very, reputable coaching bit of experience. He's been around the block in terms of coached all around the world. He's got a great coaching career in his own right here in the NPC with Taranaki. Very successful title-winning campaigns there. And he's going to have a big focus on the forwards, line out, breakdown, that kind of thing. That's going to be his specialty. The fact that he's worked with Dave before is good. Him and Dave seem to be kind of different personalities, but should complement each other really well. So I'm pretty happy with the appointment of Neil Barnes. Jason Ryan is the coach who hasn't worked with Dave before, as far as I know. He is the only continuing piece of the puzzle from the previous regime. So all of Ray's assistants are gone, except for Jason Ryan, who continues on in his role as forwards coach. This is his third straight All Blacks head coach. Remember, they brought him in to help out Fozzie, who was struggling. And then he stayed on with Razor, and now he's staying on with Dave. I think that speaks to the respect, the work he's been doing with the forwards. I do think he made an immediate impact with the forwards when he came in 2022, under Fozzie. He certainly got his work cut out for him in terms of we've got to go to South Africa this year. And nobody is on the same level as the Bok forward pack right now. So that's his challenge. Everybody is a step behind. We've seen the Boks, they traveled to Europe at the end of last year. They demolished the Irish. They bullied the French forward pack. They had the dominance on us last year when we played them, despite the fact that we won the Eden Park game. The scrum and the maul, that's going to be his baby. And I do think he's a guy who is going to get more out of players than potentially other forward coaches. So I'm pretty happy with Jason. Hopefully him and Dave get on pretty well. Then Tana. Tana as defense coach. So he's going to leave Moana Pacifica at the end of the Super Rugby season to take over as All Blacks defense coach. I have seen a few comments because the announcements were just made this morning. A few that were kind of pretty disparaging to Tana, saying he's not a good appointment. And the logic seemed to be basically he's Moana Pacifica's head coach in Super Rugby, and Moana Pacifica have bad defense. They concede a lot of points. So he must be a bad defense coach. For me, this is a very massive leap in logic and very much oversimplifying something which has a lot more aspects to it than that. Moana Pacifica were predicted to be the worst team in Super Rugby. The fact they did as well as they did last year was a surprise. They've lost a ton of players in the offseason. I think they had the biggest turnover of all the Super Rugby squads. And the All Blacks are not Moana Pacifica. Head coach is not defense coach. These are different things. These things do not make a one-for-one comparison with each other. He was defense coach at the Blues. That's more of a role which you could compare. Obviously, Super Rugby is not test level, but he was a good defense coach with the Blues. He stepped down from the Blues head coaching role. He became an assistant under Leon McDonald. And even though I think in that first year we didn't make the playoffs under Leon, but our defense was one of the bright spots on the Blues record. defensively we were good. So head coach is not defense coach. He's going to be defense coach. All Blacks are not Moana Pacifica. I find it strange I have to say that. But anyway, I got faith in the guy. And plus the fact that he's a former All Blacks captain and a bit of a legend, I feel like he's automatically going to get good buy-in from the players. Like maybe more than a guy like Mike Blair, who's a foreigner coming in. So Tana should get immediate buy-in. He's going to have respect around the dressing room. So I think Tana's a good appointment. And he and Dave have worked together before because he used to play under Dave at Wellington. So a long time ago now, but they know each other. Then there's Mike Blair, who, like I said, is a Scotsman. Got a few Scotsmen in New Zealand rugby now. Hurricanes coach is a Scotsman. We've got a Scottish attack coach with the All Blacks. He's another one who, like kind of like Tana, has done the head coaching thing, and like Neil Barnes, in his own career. But he's a guy who, after coaching Edinburgh for a few years, was like, nah, I want to be an attack coach. This is what I want. It's a hands-on role. It's a different job from being a head coach. He wanted to focus on being like the world's best attack coach. And like he's attack coach. He had been with Glasgow under Dave, and he went to Japan to coach the attack under Dave with Kobe. So he and Dave clearly get on pretty well. And Kobe's attack numbers, not that I follow the Japanese league, are the best in the league. So they score more points than anybody else thus far this season. So he seems to be doing something right. I like the fact that it's not just all Kiwis. We do have an outside influence there on the squad, and he's a legend in Scottish rugby. So whether that means much to the All Blacks players who are all in their 20s, I don't know. Probably not that much, but yeah, hopefully with the cattle that the All Blacks have got, he can get some good things going with the All Blacks attack. The fact that he and Dave have worked together for so long is also encouraging. And then Phil Healy, it's like head of performance, but ultimately strength and conditioning is his wheelhouse. He's worked with Dave at the Chiefs. He's worked with Dave at Glasgow. He's gone to Japan with Dave. So he and Dave clearly get on like a house on fire. I think it's only the Wallabies where they went their kind of separate ways. I think he was with the Blues for a while. So if there's a guy who will get the players in the shape that Dave wants them in, it's Phil Healy. So yeah, I think ultimately I'm pretty happy. I don't think these are the dregs that were the ones scraped from the bottom of the barrel that were the only guys available. Mike Blair's coming directly over from Kobe. Neil Barnes, Tana, and Phil have all worked. So was Phil actually from Kobe, but they've all worked with him before. And then Jason is that bit of stability from the previous regime. So I'm optimistic. Call me stupidly optimistic, but I think these guys can bring the All Blacks and get them humming. We will see. Let's revisit this at the end of the year. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. Who are you excited about? Disappointed? How do you reckon they're going to go? Are you optimistic, pessimistic? Subscribe to the channel. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.